Hi, so welcome to Section 8, the first lecture of the polyphasic sleep section. In this section, we're really going to discuss some practical polyphasic sleep strategies that kind of bridge the gap for the average person in this area. There's a lot of misconceptions online about polyphasic sleep and just sleep in general, so I hope to kind of clear up some of those and really discuss what polyphasic sleep is and what it isn't and how it can really help you. And just as a fun side note, I'm actually recording this video outside in my garden because I have two monophasic sleepers back at my condo. It's really early in the morning, and I'm up way before they are. You know, as a polyphasic sleeper, I sleep a lot less. And I apologize if the audio sounds a little bit different, but I'm going to test this afterwards and hopefully mix it up right, so it should sound fine. All right, so what is polyphasic sleep? Polyphasic sleep is a practice of breaking up sleeping patterns into much less sleep at night and replacing the lost hours with daytime napping. On the surface, it would seem that polyphasic sleep is only a peculiarity unique to the wired young Silicon Valley entrepreneur like Mark Zuckerberg, trying to squeeze in more hours of productivity into his day, and other outliers on the fringes. But in reality, most people who engage in polyphasic sleep do so as a cure to get back lost hours of sleep during the night. And for this, it's very effective. And there are times when life just gets too busy. We always have to be on the go and have to maintain peak energy. We only get a minimum number of hours of sleep per night, but we need to keep going and doing more the next day. And that's why I love polyphasic sleep, because it's one of the most effective ways to cure sleep deprivation, gain extra hours of the day, and have more energy than ever. It's currently 6 a.m. when I'm recording this, and like I mentioned, I have people back home who are still asleep. I have my girlfriend who's still in bed, and I have a friend who's couch surfing at my couch, and it's really cool. I absolutely love polyphasic sleep because I am awake now. I'm good to go. I can record these videos. I only have to sleep like 4.5, 5 hours at night, and then I can get back those hours through a 30-minute nap or two 30-minute naps. So I absolutely love polyphasic sleep. It enables me to get so much more done, but it also helps me to cure any sleep deprivation that I might have. It's kind of a secret weapon. You know, I always have a lot of energy. I'm always on the go. I can get so much more done, so much more out of my day. It's really incredible. And there's a lot of misconceptions, like I said, about what polyphasic sleep, is and what it isn't. I mean, a lot of people think that it's not healthy or that what exactly happens during polyphasic sleep, and I find that a lot of the information online is just wrong in this area, and there's no really scientifically backed information. A lot of the hearsay comes from just blogs that people write, and first misconception I want to clear up is that it's not healthy. I think polyphasic sleep is one of the healthiest things you can do if you have sleeping issues, and we're going to talk more about that and why it is, but a lot of the misconceptions out there are just from people who just don't understand what they're talking about. And a lot of people that write blogs don't understand what they're talking about either. They think that you can hack REM sleep, or that REM sleep is actually vital for survival, and it's not. If you've taken this course, you know that it's not, and you can't actually hack your body to engage in REM sleep anyway, to engage in it faster. So what I hope to do with this section is kind of clear up a lot of that and kind of just give a really detailed account of my own experience, and hopefully, you might be able to take something from it and incorporate it into your own routine. So first of all, let's talk about some of the documented, best-known polyphasic sleep schedules that we know of. The first one is the biphasic siesta, and that's very simple. It's, I guess, like a 6-hour minimum at nighttime. You sleep at night, one big chunk. It could be 6 to maybe 8 hours, and then you take a small nap in the afternoon, and then you see the orange area is the waking hours. So about halfway in between your waking hours, you take I don't know what 0.75 represents, usually like a 30-minute nap, because you don't want to nap more than 30 minutes. On the right-hand side, you see the biphasic traditional style, which involves 14 hours awake, and then people say that our ancestors would sleep for 4 hours, and then they would wake up in the middle of the night, and then they would go do something else, do some reading, and then they would sleep another 4 hours. Now, why would that be? It could be because our ancestors didn't have electronic lighting, so there was no real reason to keep them awake once the sun went down. Nothing to compel them. It was boring. They had candles, for crying out loud. They didn't have lights to, go out, go clubbing or go drinking. It was nighttime was for sleep only. So what people suggest is that our ancestors would actually sleep for 4 hours. They would wake up when they would go into light sleep. They would start to wake up again, stay up for a couple hours, maybe eat, do some reading, catch up with family, and then they would go to sleep again for another 4 hours. All right, and then we have some of the everyman cycles, which is the everyman 2, which is 2 naps during the daytime. So you can see the two blocks over to the left, and then you have the everyman 3, which you have 3 naps, and then you have the everyman 4, which you have 4 naps, and then you'll notice that the big blue section, as you go from left to right, shortens. So according to the everyman practitioners, the core amount of sleep goes from 4.5 down to 3, and then down to 4. I don't know whether that's actually true. I have done the everyman 3 before, but I haven't actually shortened it down to 3 hours. But we'll talk a little bit more about how I do the everyman 2 and the everyman 3. And then you have the Dymaxion, which only one person has ever reportedly followed this pattern. That's Buckminster Fuller. And that represents a problem that we have with polyphasic sleep, is that some of these cycles are based on hearsay or accounts of historical figures. So we have no conclusive evidence whether this Dymaxion schedule is actually possible, or that Fuller actually stuck to this schedule to the letter. All we have is his word, and he may have kind of sensationalized his sleep patterns to add to his own legend. But what it is basically is he took a 30-minute nap every 5.5 hours and only took 4 naps. So whether it's actually possible, we don't know. But that's what he claimed to have done. And then the last one over here on the right is you see the Uberman sleep schedule. So there are actually a cult of polyphasic sleepers who follow this Uberman sleep schedule, and they break it up into 6 naps spaced throughout the day with no core sleep patterns. So every, 3 hours and 45 minutes or so, which is pretty intense. But if you can make it work, more power to you. So are you feeling overwhelmed? It's okay, I did too the first time I learned about polyphasic sleep. But the real question is, which cycles are actually practical and doable for the average person? Let's start there, because that's what people really want to know. Most people, they say, I don't even have time for 1 nap, so how can I take 6 naps or 5 naps? So what I recommend is that you start with the biphasic siesta and the everyman 2. So if you're new to polyphasic sleep, I recommend that you focus exclusively on these 2. Why the biphasic siesta? Because it's a really easy schedule to get into just for the beginner. And just taking a 1 30-minute nap when your circadian rhythm dips to its lowest point can actually reduce your daily sleep requirement by 2 hours. And it's really cool, it's really incredible. I call it the slingshot effect. So if you just take that 1 nap at 3 p.m., 30 minutes, or a little bit before or after 3 p.m., it can help you to rebound once your circadian rhythm starts to go up again. The siesta method alone is a vast improvement over a monophasic schedule, because if you miss that nap at 3 p.m., you miss the chance to maximize the next peak in your circadian rhythm at around 6 p.m. When you skip taking a nap when your cycle is at its lowest, kind of aligning your period of rest to its natural ebb and flow, then you go on burning energy throughout the day. It's very inefficient. It's like pressing the gas pedal to the floor when you're running out of gas. And the only way to go down is to down, because you keep burning energy. And by the end of the day, you feel exhausted. You feel psychologically not comfortable about falling asleep, I guess. But if you take advantage of that period of rest, it allows you to rebound, and I call this the slingshot effect. And it can create massive implications for your productivity, your health, your energy, and your mental prowess. And the next one is the Everyman 2, and we're going to talk more about both of these sleep schedules in the next lecture. But what you need to know for now is that once you've mastered the biphasic siesta, once you become an expert napper, an expert sleeper, then you're ready to graduate to the Everyman 2. And all I want you to know for now is that this is practical, this is doable, and I've created kind of a strategy in these lectures that will help you to kind of transition to this naturally. So if you read a lot of the blog posts online, they kind of really make the initiation period, the transition period, to kind of be really difficult. And I just want you to know that if you kind of do it the way that I did it, how I kind of naturally evolved to polyphasic sleep, that it is absolutely practical, as it is actually doable, and you can start to become a polyphasic sleeper within a week or two if you follow these strategies. So thanks for watching the introduction to this section. I will see you in the next lecture. Talk to you soon.